Buenas Johnnie Pasu Gagigi Hamzu. I'm Troy Torres, and welcome to our studios, Attorney General Douglas Moylan.
Thank you, Troy.
Deputy Attorney General Raymond Ilagan. I've never known you as Raymond. I've always just known you as Ray.
Yes.
I didn't even know you were with the Attorney General's office. You were with Public Defender before,
office
right?
For 20 years.
And so now you're in charge of the Child Support Division, is that correct?
That's correct.
And Attorney General, oh, I'm sorry. Special guest today, we have Eric the Eagle. Buenas, Eric. He doesn't talk. He doesn't talk on the cameras.
We're trying to teach him.
Eagles don't talk. Cacos. Attorney General, what's going on this month that you brought your Child Support Division head here?
Right. It's a nationally recognized Child Support Month, and we wanted to educate our community what services that we have in our Child Support Division. Part of one of the main duties of the Attorney General is to help our kids out there. And we're trying to bring the parents together, both the custodial and the non-custodial parents.
How difficult is that, though?
Well, I think all of us, as we get older, we realize that there's aspirations that we have. With Ray, we're trying to make it happen. We started this many years ago, and Ray can explain to you what the feds are now doing is consistent with what our local community is attempting to do through the AG's office.
You know, I was, my dad and my mom and my dad's first wife, they all have had divorces and remarriages and all of that stuff, and so child support has been a thing. But you know, this was back in the day. This is like back in the 80s into the early 90s, and it didn't seem like there was really an issue back then with people paying their child support. Granted, the amounts aren't probably as much as they are now, but it's kind of sad how things have devolved over the years, huh?
Well, the caseload has definitely increased since back in the 80s. But yes, sometimes families do work together and they do provide child support, but there are other families that it becomes an issue, and that's what we're trying to fix. We're trying to make sure that, you know, we don't focus on the money issue. We try to focus on family issues.
The Love Your Kids program.
Love Your Kids program.
Can you explain it?
Yeah. So right now, well, let me explain. The Office of Child Support Enforcement, that's the main federal office, recently changed its name to Office of Child Support Services. So they're looking at not focusing on enforcement issues, but focusing on servicing the whole family. So in light of that, our program, Love Your Kids, falls directly into that. We're trying to provide services to the whole family, so that we think that when, you know, parents work together, their kids benefit.
And succeed.
What kind of services are these?
Okay. So right now, currently we do have an active access and visitation program.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And so with that program, we do provide, or we do have contracts with two providers. One is Inafa Malik, and that's a mediation service. Parties sometimes are willing to work together, but when they get together, it's hard for them to hammer out the details. So we do have the services of mediation. We do make a referral to Inafa Malik. They'll set up the the mediation service. They don't even need to be both in the same room. One could be make the appointment, and then the next week the second person. They also do it by video. So if one party lives in the States, they can do it via Zoom. So that's something I just found out the other day. So it doesn't necessarily have to be together at mediation,
and
just
the
so long as they work together.
Simplest way of probably describing the benefit of mediation is when you think about, you know, two parents who are now separated. And they're, you know, whenever they get together, it's just oil and water, right?
Yeah,
the
correct.
Arguments, you know, they just explode into all of these things from the past and things that don't sort of make sense toward a solution, right?
Correct.
And it's the communication. You know, it's this idea that the custodial and the non-custodial will take away the focus on their own personal issues and help that which they agreed to bring into this world, their children.
Yes.
Right? And that's the idea. And even after the high school, we recognize in our world, college is important. And there is no obligation to support your children after 18 years old. So, you know, those are the things that we want to promote in the AG's office.
Excellent.
We want to have them have that love and affection for that child. And you don't need to come to us for supporting your kids. These, as you pointed out, this is when the parties can't communicate and they need to have a third party, which is the Attorney General's office, which are people of Guam through the government services. So, you know, Ray is instrumental. We like to talk about speaking quietly, but we have the big stick.
Yes.
And Ray can talk about the enforcement arm of the AG's office, but we want to, again, focus upon the love your kids. The pro-family, love your kids, focus on giving the resources to your children so they succeed in life.
Who's the second vendor? You said that there were two.
So the second vendor is Erica's house.
Okay.
In situations where sometimes the parties can't even be in the same room, that's
Yes.
the worst case scenario. Erica's house does provide visitation exchanges. So mom will come in, drop off the child, and leave. The child stays with the staff of Erica's house, and then 10 minutes later, the father comes in, picks up the child, so that there's no communication between the mother and the father. And so it's a smooth transition. The children really don't need to see any arguments between their parents. And so it's a way of helping the kids still think that everything is good with their mother and their father.
The buffer zone.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I have a question. How does it work? What are the mechanics of, you have a custodial parent who, let's say it's the mom, taking care of the kids, and the non-custodial parent is the dad. The dad needs to pay child support. The dad needs to be somehow present, somehow involved in the child's life, wants to be involved in the child's life, but is in prison for a couple of years. How does that work out? Is that just one of those really difficult things?
Well, first of all, it's formula, right?
Yeah. Well, with regard to the calculation of the child support, it's based on income earned. In situations where people are incarcerated, there is we do try to make it an amount that he can afford eventually. So it's usually $50 per month per child when they are in prison for 6 months or longer. If they come out of prison and they're not able to get a job because of their criminal record, then we look into seeing whether or not we should increase the child support or impute minimum wage, or keep it at $50 per month per child, but place him on a job search so that he goes out and tries looking for a job.
Yeah, we wanted to promote also this idea that for those that haven't been in the system, it's formula. So it's all calculated based upon the income of the parties. You're not really going to benefit more or less by fighting stuff. So arguing with the other party about it isn't going to get you any real difference if it's forced to go before a judge, everybody's treated the same.
Oh, okay.
And we also encourage through the Access and Visitation Program for the fathers or the mothers to have equal custody, because the kids benefit when they see the mom and the dad equally. The exposure helps for a better child. That's usually the general rule. Obviously, there are circumstances when you have a parent that may not be a fit parent, but those are usually an exception to the rule. And Guam law does require equal custody, everything being equal between the parents.
Okay, unless something else happens in the court of law. Okay.
Right, or like the incarceration issue, child abuse allegations, things like that.
Now that you brought that up, how often do you guys see complaints of the non-custodial parent alleging that the custodial parent is abusing the child?
Recently, that hasn't really been an issue. It does come up once in a while.
Okay.
It's hard to evaluate the situation because usually it's one party's version versus the other party's version. The non-custodial parent may exaggerate the facts. So if it comes up to the point where we think it's abuse, then we have to report it to CPS.
Right, there's a mandatory reporting statute, and we have our General Crimes Division, which has the family unit in it. And that's normally when we would have the Child Protective Services would get involved if it rises to that level. There's a lot of investigations that go on that never make it to the courts through the Child Protective Services rules. So from the child support perspective, they may not see it. I do know that in the family unit, they do have quite a few allegations, but whether or not they're tied into child support or not may not be brought into our child support division. So,
General, for the past 7 months, since you came back into office as the Attorney General, you have been real tough on crime. Like,
right.
We're going after the criminals. We're going to send a message. You've been
protect
tough on
the crime
corruption.
victims. Right, set the tone.
And it's a tone that you said. Thank you. This is different.
Right.
This is a much softer side of the Attorney General's office that's being displayed here. What do you hope to accomplish by the end of this month?
To protect the children, to give them those resources. It's not all about money. It's about raising your children. I'm a parent myself. I know, and I'm 56 now, I've seen a lot, as has Ray and all of us, and that's why I say as you get older, you look back on life and you see, despite the disagreements between the parties, life is about your future and the children's future. And I think that is, yes, it's a fuzzier side of the AG's office, but it could also be a harsh side because it's in the enforcement aspect. The law requires certain things, but I think we can get to that same point of helping the children without threatening those people in our community. They're only parents. It's not a crime to be a parent. And like we talk about in the General Crimes Division, I support those parents that are trying to raise their kids. The cops may come over and there might be allegations by the child that, hey, my dad hit me or my mom hit me. That's not what we're going after in the AG's office. We're going after the meth addicts, those people that are harming the children. So yeah, it's kind of holistic. We bring the different divisions of the office together and we have the meeting among our deputies and the legal policies sent out there. We're pro-family, we support the parents, but most of all, we protect the vulnerable, whether they're the children, the Manamco, those are the people that our laws and the Attorney General should be concerned about.
What are your outreaches this month in order to get this message out?
Okay, so let me look at my list. This coming Friday, August 4th, we're doing a wave at the ITC intersection.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'll be
there. Okay.
I won't be speeding. I will not speed.
You don't
but
want to come out and wave with us?
As soon as I see the yellow, I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
So the AG's right there.
So we're starting off that our celebration with the wave. The next day, Saturday, August 5th, we're doing an outreach at the Yana Shopping Center from 10 to 2 p.m. 10 o'clock, we're going to start off with the proclamation by the governor. Okay. And then we'll go into our outreach. We are going to have some vendors like Inafa Malik is going to be there, Erica's House, GPD, Juvenile Investigation, CPS might be there, the Victim Services Center, the Office of the Attorney General, GCC, Adult Education Program, and just recently we spoke to the Superior Court referee and she wants to get involved, so she's going to participate in the outreach. She's very active and she's very supportive of the parties and really tries to help the parties.
And we have a new referee.
Christina Baird.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It used to be Judge Ingalls, right?
Used to be, Judge Ingalls, and then it was referee Ann Keith.
Oh, okay.
And now, since I believe January or February, it was Miss Baird.
Okay. Well, congratulations, sir.
And the focus is information. If parents want to get some information, this is an opportunity. It's about a lot of different of the providers out there will be with us, and an opportunity to have photos with Eric. Bring the kids. We have balloons, popcorn. There's going to be a raffle for the movie tickets. Family-oriented things to make this more than just bureaucracy. I hate bureaucracy. I hate this idea. Here's a pamphlet. Bring out your kids. Have them have an opportunity to spend time with you, have photos with Eric, as I said, have that fuzzier side of what a weekend is all about, at the malls and stuff.
And if you have questions, we'll have staff there to answer
or
any
applications.
questions. Yeah.
Maybe you guys should, I don't know if it's too late for the suggestion, but give out pencils, like the A-car.
We are.
Oh, okay,
we do have some items to give out
the
to
balloons.
The kids.
We're going to have balloons for the kids. So it's to make it fun. I'm trying to step it up. Let's make this an event that kids want to come out to, especially the small ones. This is what the happiness is for the kids when they see those characters, interact.
This does sound fun for the kids.
We're trying to.
And for the parents too.
Yeah.
Parents get to bring their kids and say, "Oh, let's go get a balloon."
Yeah. Take a photo with. We're going to have the IT people there to when they take the photo, we can email it to them. There's going to be some printing as well.
Nice.
Things to have a memory, look back years when they're 18 or 17 and say, this is what I took you to.
Does the AG's office have an Instagram?
I believe we're working on it. I know we have the basic stuff. Our team is working on it right now. Yes.
Well, there's a Twitter. So maybe like one of those things is like tag the AG with the picture that you get, or like you guys can load it onto a Twitter and tag the person or whatever. They just gave me what the Diddy bag looks like for. Is this for Saturday?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see.
I believe so.
So we've got information from the Child Support Enforcement Division. Oh, a schedule.
Schedule.
You guys have a good graphics person.
You
But-
can put that on your website.
Yeah.
We'll put it up. We'll put it
I
up.
don't know if it has the full, but we're going to have all the different knickknacks, the pens, the
A
other.
pen and a pencil.
Well, for the parents, you know.
I'll take the pen. The magnets. There's a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's crayons.
Yes.
Man, if I was a kid, I'd love this. Okay, you said something about the bureaucracy.
Right.
I'll take this to pay less or cost you less. And be like,
Yeah. After use.
you
Bring
can't,
it- bring
you
it to
can't
the
cut
gym.
in front of me. I have an attorney general bag. You mentioned the bureaucracy, and you sounded off a bunch of agencies that not just are coming together, but want to come together for this thing.
Yeah. They want to support the kids. They have like services for either for the parents or for the children, or have children involved in their casework. So they want to make sure that parents are informed about their services too.
It almost sounded like the entire system of care for kids.
That's what we're trying to get.
Yeah, and so I know there's been IFA Magunta, there's been these systems of
Support
care
services,
over support
right.
services over the years that have coordinated these agencies, and I know that there's still red tape, there still are barriers, people's walls still are up in their offices, etc. Right? But as this moves along, is it the Attorney General's office that will seem to be pulling people together?
We're
Is that
trying
what's
that
going
one
on?
stop. I know that with our access and visitation program, we're talking about joining especially the non-custodial parents who the judge or the referee might order for a job search, having it so that we can link them up directly with opportunities to earn income to help out their kids. So that was one of the aspects. Ray has some other ones.
Yeah. So like that's basically one of the main ones we're going to be focusing on is trying to get employment services for the parties, because when we go into court, one of the parties usually doesn't have a job, usually the non-custodial parent. We put him on a job search and he has to go out and look for 5 different places per week. If we provide the services within the office, we will have those listing of 5 places, so we can say, here's the list, go and check with these individuals. They may have a job opening because they're listed with us. So for sure you can inquire with them. We're trying to hook up with agencies that also take into account that some individuals have a history, a background, criminal record, whatnot. And so a lot of those employers will take into consideration the background.
Sure.
And are more willing to help these individuals who have this
Difficulty finding a job.
the baggage.
Yeah.
By sort of vouching for them.
Vouching for them or giving them a chance.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Just so you know, like one of the places that you can send people to is Guam Cleaning Masters. I just saw their flyer yesterday. They're hiring a bunch for janitorial services and for other types of jobs, but they pay prevailing wages. So you're talking about like $15.42
Really?
an hour up to. Yeah,
Guam
it's
Cleaning
good stuff.
Services.
Guam Cleaning Masters.
Guam Cleaning Masters.
Yeah. They're over at the Baltej Pavilion over in Suman on the 2nd floor, or they have an email address.
Been in Guam for
put that
decades.
flyer up. Yeah. I think 3 decades already they've been around. Man-made or self-made.
Yeah. Alex
company.
Thomas.
Alex Thomas. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's just a
that's gonna
coincidence
be
that
helpful.
you mentioned that you're helping to place
This is
people.
part of that growing. These are the things. I've only been in office for going on 8 months now. This is the stuff that our deputies are looking at, like that one stop. And that's what I'm finding out now. All these opportunities to help the customer, which is ultimately the taxpayers and their children.
Well, God bless you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if these
I'm
individuals
tired
get
of the 5-stop center.
Yeah. If these individuals are able to get jobs, maybe the mom doesn't have to be on government assistance. He can
Yeah.
actually support the children. And that's what we're hoping to do.
And remember, the more time that parents spend with their child, like equal custody, the child support guidelines are adjusted for that. So there's a credit that the non-custodial parent will get if they choose to become equal and joint with the custodial parent. And again, I mentioned that is the law, that the husband or the man and the woman parents have the right to equal custody of their children.
Okay. So it looks like on Tuesday you have the resolution from the legislature, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And then you have another outreach that's the pretty much, also on Saturday, this coming Saturday is the governor's proclamation signing.
Correct, that's August 5th.
August 5th.
Yeah. August 12th, there's an outreach at the Guam Premium Outlet from 10 to 2. We're going to be in the center court, I think right in front of Tommy Hilfiger.
Okay.
And then August 26th.
And Eric the Eagle will be there as well?
Yes,
Yes,
and
he
we're going to
will.
have picture taking, balloons given out, and also a raffle for movie tickets.
Nice.
The last event will be our last at the Micronesia Mall, August 26th, 10 to 2. And hopefully that's a bigger venue so we can get more people in there.
And we have all three, right? Ganya Shopping Center, GPO.
Gannett Shopping Center,
right.
GPO, and
All the main
Micronesia Mall.
Right
shopping
on.
centers.
You guys are coordinating this with just the limited staff you guys have, huh?
Yeah.
Correct.
And forgive my ignorance, I don't know if this happened last year or years before. Did you guys just create this program or?
Well, the Love Your Kids program, I was shut down after I left in 2006. Right now, we've revived it, and we're putting a spin on it and amping it up, so to speak.
Yeah.
And Ray's been great on that. We've got an enthusiastic staff there, and we want everybody to shine.
Is this something that, August 31 comes and goes, there's something that's going to be in place?
Yeah, we're going to continue to do our outreach programs after. Especially with access and visitation. Right now we're trying to plan outreach with the mayor's office. So one weekend per month, we're going to have the non-custodial parents who want just information about access and visitation. The next 2 weeks later, we're going to have maybe for the custodial parents an outreach at the mayor's office, and we're going to try to do that at each of the different villages that come about. Again,
Which we
August,
did back in 2000s when we first served I first served with my team as the AG. These are the things that we're doing, the outreach. It's federally required, and it's part of that communication needed to get the message out to our community.
I imagine that this program is going to solve a whole lot of violence from happening. You talk to police officers, and they'll tell you that the most dangerous thing that they respond to is family violence.
Yep.
And sometimes it's not even, sometimes it's the custodial and non-custodial parent having a confrontation.
Right.
It's about the kids, and so you're not going to get them all, right? But this could this has the potential to significantly reduce violence.
Yes, it does, and we're trying.
Community.
It opens up communication. With mediation, when parties are able to communicate with each other, then there's probably less likelihood of violence occurring.
And the kids will see it, so it's multi-generational, the effect of this thing.
Right, and that's why I emphasize you're not going to get anything different in child support hearings because it's formula. You punch in the numbers, and that is going to be the award that will be given. And you don't even need to go to apply for child support if the parties can just resolve it among themselves. But the reality that you talk about, there is a need for the child support office. And but when you go in there, we're going to try to help both of you. This is not just for the women and the custodial parents, which are usually women are the custodial ones. It's going to be for both of you, and just focus on your kids.
Yeah.
Think about the success of your children isn't going to be because of that minimum amount you're paying every month. It's going to be about your taking your son or daughter to the movies with you, teaching them who your grandparents are, your great-grandparents are, putting in that socialization that most everybody, it makes them a good adult. And the studies are showing when a child feels abandoned, when the non-custodial parent, the father, whoever it is, doesn't want to be with them, they're more susceptible to drugs, getting pregnant before they're able to have children, as an adult. All those problems we see in life mount when the children feel that both their parents don't love them. That's what the studies are showing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So before we were just focusing on the financial aspect. Now we want to help them focus on the emotional aspect.
Right.
This is excellent. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add?
I just want to...
Well, I just want to invite everybody to come out for the outreach events. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully...
it sounds fun.
Yeah.
So there's one August 5, that's this Saturday. Then the following Saturday, August 12. The one this Saturday is at a Gannett Shopping Center.
Correct.
The following Saturday is going to be at GPO. And it looks like 2 Saturdays after that will be at Micronesia Mall.
Correct.
Right? And you're going to have, Eric the Eagle is going to be there.
Yes.
He's not going to talk. He's not going to talk. You're going to have free balloons, a photo booth. Oh, kids' activities. What are kids' activities?
Well, we do have a group called Inspire 101. It's a youth dance group.
Okay.
And they're going to help entertain the kids.
Okay.
So they have planned some activities. I'm not sure what they are, but they're going to get the kids involved. And then I think at the Micronesia Mall, they're going to do a dance routine.
And there's free stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the free stuff that kids, and I know some adults like me would like.
Well, the victims advocates also are going to be giving out items that are part of our packet, and they're quite impressive. I've seen earbuds in them, and a lot of the
nice.
modern day trinkets
For
like
the teenagers.
for the teenagers. Right.
What do you call those things? Those thumb drive things?
Right.
Yeah.
Thumb
Right.
drives. Is that still technologically like up to date? Thumb
I believe
drives.
so. To
I'm
replace
not
the CDs, right?
I'm not technical, so.
All right.
hoping.
This is the wrong panel for that.
But Ray, I wanted to point out that the theme is love your kids. That's the message that I want everybody to take away from when they come to these outreach events. When they think of the Attorney General's Office Child Support Division, don't think of the money aspect of it. It's not about the money. It's about loving your children. That everybody has children out of love, and they should promote that for the time that they have with them. Life is precious. It's very fragile. You're here today, gone tomorrow. And teaching people about where they come from is part of our culture. The Manamko, that ability to see both sides, the matriarchs and the patriarch side of the family. So we're redefining the concept of child support, and I'm changing the DNA within the Office of the Attorney General. People in there are being refocused in order to do the job, but you don't need to carry that stick so often.
It sounds like it. It sounds like the entire focus of this whole thing is just getting kids FaceTime with their parents and love from their parents, from
Yes.
both parents, if they can, if it's possible. Thank you so much, Attorney General and Ray, for joining us, and Eric. We really appreciate you, Eric. I'm sorry that you were standing up the whole time. You're good? All right, thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Troy.
Attorney General.
Thank you, Troy.
Assistant Attorney General? Deputy Attorney
Deputy
General Ray
Attorney
Ilagan.
General.
And thank you all for joining us for this morning's Kandit News and Views, and we were very honored to have with us this week Attorney General Doug Moylan and Mr. Ilagan. Mr. Ilagan, Attorney General, if we could extend the invitation for you to come back at any time. You too, Ray. But we want to talk to him about crime stuff. The
I'm
sexy
not
crime and
that.
corruption and stuff. So whenever you'd like to come back, if you wanted to come back on a weekly basis, every day, whatever, the door is always open for you.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
God bless you, and have a great day.
Ilinala Ipalawan, Sinyabula, Minaletnya, Agan Bravo, Itatataunya.
Yet cervical cancer continues to pose a constant risk to women today due to low awareness.
Cervical cancer pasiye masek lan matan sa kontilo kinyaki. Fingom somono, pap smear and HPV vaccination isa na kashing tilo kinya.
Dapat ko radil amla mugar. Ego mga laklangar radil. Nagtamarera dan mura usong ala yang raw guru la. Ramak nitalak rektel umaralir.
Ang mga babaeng may edad 21 pataas ay kailangan magpapaptest kada 3 taon.
Sa datin na sampartua, lari sa kwano, anana at ogim sila ni HPV.
Ewa fesin, todo kuwan foundation. Ato gari awak na test, may oposud, ewa semwet HPV. Eri fefire sa rifirifit, iya patufit singeri are pagi. Ekari ni sakawar, dari tentu wurud, nanabud, may apatsakurel fefil medicine. Kirisam.
Tampakatilin cervical cancer arangan prevent na from nabefikachusarum movinial mahabigun kotafulaika cervical cancer.
Ara ko min matan fokokos.
Be a well woman.
Mga pakla ba dingiw?
Tufna kada pinipin ang raiwege da health rodai.
Piyata li kailan.
Zangin Megat, Itatataunya.
Maging malusog po tayong mga kababaihan.
Kitsvefi si puede petiveteresi Torres sawal geriri sits puede papatsakut.
Take the first step to becoming a well woman and call Todu Guam Clinic today at 671-649-TODU to schedule an appointment.